Well, good morning. Bit of a big update. You may not feel it's a big update, but it certainly is for me. When I started this channel, it was all about the desire to live on a narrowboat, to do it up and then to live on it. And that's where the channel was heading. Unfortunately, there were some medical issues that put a bit of a delay on that. The first tip, for those of you that know, you know that it's already been done, and I can hop from here to eternity now. It's absolutely superb. But I've got the second one coming up in October, and then I've got to look at the two knees. Now, there is a reason why everything's sort of collapsing, but it's not unsurmountable. It will be sorted, but it means that I have to put most things on the back burner, in particular the boat on the back burner. I felt that things like jumping ashore and up and down locks and things like that wasn't going to be a possibility at the moment, and I felt that I was missing out on an adventure. The second thing is, and probably much more importantly, not probably, it is much more importantly, somebody has come into my life, which means I'm not single anymore, and we want that adventure to be together, obviously, but because we're both in our 50s, it means that, well, we don't want to keep delaying it. Now, I'm going to say to blame, and I don't mean to blame, but you know, the reasons behind this decision were probably caused by, or due to, a number of people. The indie projects, David from Cruising the Cut, because he then started another channel about van conversions, called Vandemonium. If you don't follow it, it's absolutely brilliant. Makes me smile every time I watch that. The indie projects are very, very informative about lots of things, particularly other people's van builds, their own van build at the moment. They're doing up a Sprinter, which is a fantastic series. You should really watch that. Cali Camping, California Camping, Andrew Ditton, the Morgans, you know, they're all to blame really, because they piqued an interest in vans and doing a van conversion, and what that meant was that I could do it now, and I could have an adventure now if I went down that route. So we've been looking around for quite some time, and we found the right van. We found a Sprinter, which is fairly new actually. It's we were looking for a second-hand Sprinter, but we found one that is it's virtually new. It's 9 months old. It's got less than 1,000 miles on the clock, and it's in pretty much mint condition. So we bought it. We pick it up on Tuesday. I cannot be, well, I'm just so excited. Every time I think about it, I do a little pee-pee, which is not a good look, but it's that, yeah, it is that exciting. Now, lots of people already knew about this. David from Cruising the Cut and stroke Vandemonium, we met up at the Camping and Caravan show, motorhome and caravan show up at the NEC quite some time ago. So this has been a long process again. Everything seems to be a long process when you spend this sort of money, because you want to get it right. It isn't cheap to do. Not suggesting it is. I'm sure you could do it cheaply, but I don't want to do that. So it's taken a lot of research. I just can't wait to get started now. So after the first hip operation, I'm going back to work. I start back to work on Monday, having had 9 weeks off. I then promptly take Tuesday off to to go and pick up the van. I think that will go down like a lead balloon, but hey, you know, it is what it is. So thoroughly looking forward to that. With that in mind, then becomes the channel name, Gongoozler TV. Gongoozler, as you will probably know, means to idly watch boats go by. I will always be a Gongoozler. It is a passion of mine. The whole waterways, the canals, the narrowboats, the people that live on narrowboats, the people that travel by water. But then I'm also interested in sailing boats and vans and tiny house living, and you know, all of these things. So I think I will always be a gongoozler. I will always consider myself a gongoozler. Having said that, I don't think the name is going to suit the channel, so I'm going to keep the channel running as it is, but I'm going to change the name. The name that I've come up with is a take on shenanigans, which is Chevanigans. I thought it was funny, but not many people do, which is a bit unfortunate because that's what it's going to be called. And what we want to do is we want to show you the van build and then show you our travels. We're not going to do a Greg Virgo and go off for a year, not yet anyway. That is the ultimate plan, to use the vehicle for extended trips through the UK and through Europe, but initially it will be the van build series and some weekends away. I think that's the update for the moment. Please, I understand if you joined the channel because it was about narrowboats. I understand that you may want to unsubscribe, but you know what? I would hate it if you did. I would prefer you to stay along with the journey, because you know, journeys can change, directions can change, and I think the sort of van life, boat life, yacht life, they're all so similar. And a similar breed of people that just want to do something a little bit different, and I just hope that you stay. Okay, I'm going to, as I said, I'm going to film picking up the vehicle on Tuesday, and we're going to get into it. The build itself, no, that's going to take a lot longer than some of the people that are doing these builds. We will start on it straight away. I'm going to take a couple of weeks off in July and work on it then as well. So we will film all of that for you, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. Well, if you are around and if you do watch, we'll see you very shortly. And what it just reminds me to say to share all your toys and to play nicely.